Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Narbakhat and we are here for learning some reading section, IELTS reading section strategy. So today we have come to the point that when we have to solve yes, no, not given types of question, okay? I personally think they're the trickiest types of the question on IELTS reading section, but we are going to nail that because we have a great strategy for it. So if you have already seen these types of the question by the end of the test, please expect that they are trickier because as you already know that the more you read, the more passages you read, the more questions get complicated. So yeah, 36 and 40, please expect that they are going to be a little complicated and you have to understand everything. Even if you don't know some words, specific words in the questions, in the passages, please don't try to, don't worry because you're going to get the big picture, okay? So yeah, and the most important thing when we are talking about yes, no, not given questions, it's please try to write down the words yes and no. Don't write true or don't write false because you have to follow the instructions. Because the IELTS examiners, they're expecting you to follow these instructions. So you have to make sure that you are writing the correct word for the answer, okay? That's the most important thing. And the difference, when it comes to the difference between true, false, not given and yes, no, not given questions, yes, no, not given questions, they're mostly about the facts which you can find in the passage, but yes, no, not given questions, whereas they are about the opinions of the writer, okay? That's the difference. And they are a little trickier than yes, no, not given. So, true, false, not given, so sorry. So, also, if you're running out of time or if you can't decide, personally, sometimes it's really hard to decide whether the answer is not given or no, or yes. Sometimes I also try to choose from no and not given, but the game changer might be to guess. If you're running out of time, if you don't have enough time to choose the correct answer, or if you're like falling for no or not given, if you're thinking about two options, try to guess. Please don't leave a blank space, okay? Because IELTS is not going to take any points for it. So it's your chance. Maybe you will have like higher chances of guessing the right option. So please try to give the answer, even if you're guessing, okay? That's the most important thing also. And let's dive into the strategy. Of course, you see here the clue. The IELTS test is also giving you the clue, so please try to read it. Yes, if the statement agrees with the claim of the writer. No, if the statement contradicts, disagrees the claims of the writer. Not given if it's impossible to say what the writer thinks about this. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, not given is the tricky option. Sometimes you're like deciding between no or not given. So in this case, not given, mostly when, let's try to explain this not given. Not given when you can't really find this information. So this is when you have to choose not given. So and let's go to the questions. When you are reading the questions, try to understand the context. If you can't do that or because of the specific words, don't worry. You can just try to get the big picture. Even if you don't know some specific words, that's totally fine. But the most important thing is getting the big picture. And also, please try to highlight the questions, the keywords in the questions, for example, the tone of the content we post on social media tends to reflect the nature of the post in our feeds. So try to highlight the keywords and highlight the paraphrasings in the passage because the answers do come in order. Typically, they do come in order. Yes, no, not given. That I think this is the blessing for us. And when you are reading the passage, try to highlight. And if you find the point where the answer might be hidden, try to highlight them too. Even if you're taking a computer-based IELTS exam, you will be given a chance to highlight. You can just click the right button of the mouse and there will be an option highlight. So you can highlight the passage itself on IELTS computer-based exam as well. So please try to highlight because you have to see where you have stopped to move on. So if you stopped here in negative post in the passage, you have to highlight that because it's going to give you a higher chances to complete 37 faster. So this is the next one. And yeah, you have to understand the passage. And if you saw my other videos, previous videos on my channel, I have already mentioned this game changer tip is when you're completing other types of the questions, try to identify what each paragraph is about. So you are given this kind of empty spaces. Here we have a little space here, a little space here. You can just give a little title for it according to their information given in the passage. So this is a helpful thing because while you're reading 36, you have to decide where the answer possibly hidden. So this is going to be very, very helpful. So as you complete other questions, 35, 25, please try to highlight what this paragraph is about because it's going to help you to find out 36, 37 a lot easier and faster. So now let's dive into 36. The tone of the content we post on social media tends to reflect the nature of posts in our feeds. So I already remember where the social media thing. Of course, we do have social media on other paragraphs, but we do have these. To reflect the nature of posts in our feeds, we do have the tone of the content, what we post in here. So because I already see these kind of things here, sentences. Studies show that if we observe positive feeds on social media, such as images of a pink sunset, we are more likely to post uplifting messages ourselves. If we observe negative posts, such as complaints about a long queue at a coffee shop, we will in turn create more negative posts. So as you can see here, this answer is yes, because yes, it agrees. The statement agrees with the claims of the writer. This is how you do it. This is very easy. Thanks. And yeah, next 36, 37. I'm sorry, I was just filming for my short type of a content. So 37. Now I'm taking away my phone. So next 37. Phones have greater impact on our stress levels than other electronic media devices. So we have stopped in this paragraph now. It means we have to go on and read here from this point. And phones have a greater impact, stress levels, electronic devices. It is mentioned around here because we have checking phone, as you can see, according to a survey conducted by the American Psychological Association related to stress. So this is the point we should look for the information. So let's keep reading. In other words, a pre-programmed psychological reaction, which evolution has equipped us with to help us avoid famished predators, is now being triggered by an online post. Okay, social media posting, according to one study, raises our pulse, makes you sweat, and enlarges your pupils more than most daily activities. So phones have a greater impact on our stress level than other electronic media devices. And these are social media posting, according to one study, raises your pulse, makes you sweat, and enlarges your pupils more than most daily activities. We have most daily activities. We have nothing about like other electronic media devices, right? So the information here, this is kind of a tricky one. As I mentioned, I hate not given or no, not given when you are like deciding whether it's no, whether it's not given. I really hate that. So yeah. And let's read again. So posting according to one study, okay, raises your pulse, makes you sweat, enlarges your pupils more than most daily activities. We don't have like enough information. So when you have to choose not given, when you don't have enough information, when it's like no, it's not true according to the passage, as you know. So phones have a greater impact. Do we have greater impact? Enlarges more than yes, it's about here, greater impact This is just an example of an extreme word, so you should be aware that sometimes you will be given extreme words as well. Like you have to make sure that if they match, you have to make sure to check if they match with the information given. So greater impact, more than, most okay, and stress levels than other electronic media devices. And here we have daily activities. So in daily activities, they're not about electronic media devices. And yes, we don't really have enough information about a greater impact on our stress levels. So the answer is not given. Okay, so that's it. Next, 38. The more we read about stressful public event on social media, the less able we are to take the information in. Okay. So let's keep reading from this point because we have stopped here. Next, the fact that stress increases the likelihood that we will focus more on alarming messages, together with the fact that it spreads extremely rapidly, can create collective fear that is not always justified. After stressful public events, such as a natural disaster or a major financial crash, there is often a wave of alarming information in traditional and social media, which individuals become very aware of, but that has the effect of exaggerating existing danger. Okay, and so a reliable pattern emerges. Stress is triggered, spreading from one person to the next, which temporarily enhances the likelihood the people will take in negative reports, which increases stress further. As a result, trips are cancelled, even if the disaster took place across the globe. Stocks are sold, even when holding on is the best thing to do. Okay, the more we read about, yes, we have like people are reading about this kind of information. The more we read about stressful public event on social media, the less able we are to take the information in. So no, they're saying completely different thing. So if you read about negative stuff, you're going to sell your stocks and you're going to lose money further. So because they just wanted you to hold on to your stocks because it might be the best option because stocks might grow, the prices might grow. So even if the disaster took place across the globe, which increases stress further. Okay, so stress is triggered spreading from one person to the next, which temporarily enhances the likelihood that people will take in negative reports. So no, it's completely contradicts, disagrees. So the answer is going to be no, no. We don't have that, okay? So next, 39, stress created by social media posts can lead us to take unnecessary precautions. So precautions, yeah, we have read here, stocks are sold, even holding on to the best thing to do. And so, yes, the answer is given here because we have stress created by social media posts can lead us to take unnecessary, as I mentioned, they're like selling the stocks or they are saying you better hold on to the stocks. So 39 is about here. We have the first one, first proof, reliable pattern emerges, stress is triggered, spreading one to which temporarily enhances the likelihood that people will take in negative reports. Yes, which increases stress further, and also alarming information in traditional social media, which individuals become very aware of, but that has the effect of exaggerating existing danger. Uh-huh. Yes, we have exaggerating existing danger, which means you should really focus on things which are real because here you are exaggerating existing danger, which means the situation is not that dangerous, so as you are picturing. So 39, yes, unnecessary precautions because we sell our stocks, and yes. Great. The last one, our tendency to be affected by other people's mood can be used in a positive way. We have nothing about positive here in this paragraph, so and also we have stopped here. So let's dive into the next one. Next paragraph, the good news. Yeah, we have a positive one, number one. However, if that positive emotions such as hope are contagious too, that means spreads to one another and are powerful in inducing people to act to find solutions. Being aware of the close relationship between people's emotional state and how they process information can help us frame our messages more effectively and become conscientious agents to change. Okay, our tendency to be affected by other people's mood can be used in a positive way. Oh, so we have a good news here and contagious. That means, of course, the word contagious means about like when you caught a cold, you're contagious because your viruses are going to be spread from you to another person. So yeah, the positive things, they are contagious. Here it's in the positive way because positive vibes are contagious too and inducing people to act to find solutions. This is a favorite part of this paragraph. My favorite part, our tendency to be affected by other people's mood can be used in a positive way. Yes, we are going to find find better solutions, and the process information can help us frame our messages more effectively and become conscientious agents of change. So they are all about positive. Like you're going to think before posting. You're going to try to post positive things, and you have to think what kind of information you are sharing with people. So effectively, messages frame our messages more effectively and become conscientious agents of change. That is here, yes. So this is how you do it. Yay! We have finished. Can you imagine that? We have finished test number one. This was like test number one, and we have done all 40 questions so far. Yay! We've nailed that. So this is the strategy. Please try to keep in mind you have to write down yes, no, not just Y, not just N, and you have to work on with the paragraphs itself you have to themselves, and you have to identify where the possible answer might be. So please try to keep in mind while you are completing other types of questions what each paragraph is about. You have to work on the paragraphs so you are going to understand. The IELTS or examiners, they are expecting you to understand the text, so that's why you're given yes, no, not given questions. So yeah, that's all. The difference between true, false, not given, and yes, no, not given, you have the opinions of the writer here, as you can see here. But while yes, no, not given, true, false, not given, they're about like facts which are given in the passage, not about the opinion of the writer. Okay. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and hope I'll see you on my next other videos. I'm going to film other tests of 20 Cambridge 20, so follow. And if you like the video, hit the like button. And I'm an IELTS tutor. I provide one-on-one lessons online, so feel free to join my classes if you'd like. I have my Telegram in the description box. You can text me. Thanks. Have fun, and hope you had fun. Thank you very much, and good luck with your IELTS journey.